This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past, present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. 3, 2,
1.
Happy New Year!
Hey,
I'm sure there'll be some applause in there somewhere.
I've got a funny story about New Year's Eve.
Oh, here we go.
When I was living in Brisbane, me and my friend that I was living with at the time, who you would probably remember from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that
Yeah,
girl?
yeah.
We went out on New Year's Eve in the Valley in Brisbane, which is just like where all the nightclubs are. And I had no money at all. Like I barely had enough money to go and get into the club because I was just a waitress at the time, had no fucking money to my name. So my mission of the night was to get as many free drinks as possible.
Always a good place to start.
Yeah. Little old 19, 20-year-old me. I'm like, all right, I'm going to talk to as many boys as I can and get as many free fucking drinks as I can. Meanwhile, I was interested in none of them, you know. I just wanted the free drinks, which is so bad. These poor guys.
Oh, who gives a shit?
Wonder how they're doing now. Anyway, we connected with these couple of guys. Like they were in a group, we were in a group. And spent the whole night like talking, partying, dancing, blah, blah, blah. And I was getting all these free drinks. I like kind of forgot that it was New Year's and whatever. And so we're at this club. It's called the Met for any of you in Brisbane. And they're doing the New Year's countdown. I'm like, 3, 2, 1, whoa, Happy New Year. And then I kind of forgot that people kiss at midnight, like just because it wasn't on my mind. Like the only thing on my mind was the free drinks. So 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, woohoo! We're all like celebrating. There's confetti falling from the ceiling. And this guy that's been buying me the drinks, like I hadn't given him no signs that I was interested in him at all. He turns and he goes to kiss me and I rejected him. I had to, like I was not interested.
What a terrible way for him to start his year.
I know.
God.
His life's probably gone into shambles.
Hope he's well. Seriously.
But you just saying that just reminded me of that. Good times.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to High Scrollers, the podcast version of your favourite group chat. We're doing bonus episodes at the moment. We're having a break, just like you are, over the holiday season. So just a bit of bonus banter at the moment. Just
Double B.
We honestly, Nova asked us, by the way, if we just wanted to take a break,
and we
said
no.
We were like,
fucking
absolutely
way.
not. They were like, generally over the holiday season, people listen to podcasts less because there's so many things going on and people are just having downtime, not going to work, so you're not listening to a podcast.
I reckon our scrollers are still going to be listening.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think there are people who will definitely still be listening, and if not, there's some things to catch up on for when we come back.
Into it,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? So we're just doing bonus episodes. This episode is fun because it's the royal flush of the year of 2023. The best thing we saw on the internet, or the best thing that happened to us and our lives in 2023. We have more bonus episodes coming, so make sure your notification bells are on and all the rest of it. Subscribe. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest, but do it all. Speaking of New Year's Eve, though,
yeah,
I'm going to tell you about my favourite New Year's Eve, which I went to Harbour Party at Luna Park.
Oh, yeah.
And they shut Luna Park. It's 18 and over only, and it was like a ticketed event. Tickets were like $150. My friend actually had 4 tickets and last minute couldn't go because she had a personal emergency, and she just put a Facebook status saying, who wants 4 tickets to Harbour Party tonight? And I was like, I'll snap them up, 4 free tickets, let's go. And I found 3 friends and down we went on the train from the Central Coast to Luna Park. I remember we drank a whole like goon sack of like Smirnoff cocktail, like ready to drink.
I remember
cocktail.
those, the cranberry one.
Yes, it was
and
the cranberry
blood
one.
orange one. And the cranberry one was way better.
Yes, it was the cranberry one that I had. And I remember because it's New Year's Eve, they shut every public toilet in Sydney so that they don't get damaged or
trashed.
dirty. And so they only have portaloos everywhere. And we got off at St Leonard's Station just near Luna Park, and I was busting for the toilet and there were no toilets open anywhere. And I'm not someone who's just going to piss in public. Like I'm not a dog. I'm not lifting my leg on a tree. It's not happening. So I had to find a portaloo, and I remember going into this free music festival that they were having, finding the portaloos. I'm not kidding. There were probably like 300 people in line for the toilet.
No.
I'm so drunk. I've pushed to the front. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm going to piss all over everyone if I get in here right now. And I cut in front of everyone, like so rude of me, but whatever.
You got to go.
And I got in and I finally weed. Anyway, we had a big night at Luna Park. I saw Ricky Lee was the headliner.
Aww.
Ricky Lee, who also records her drive show, her radio show in our studio. I saw her on her socials the other day.
What, this exact
Yeah,
room?
she sits right here and does it and does the radio show, which I was like, oh my gosh, that is so camp. And so Ricky Lee was the headliner. She was amazing. And the fireworks that year happened to be Kylie Minogue themed.
Oh.
So obviously I loved it. I remember we all stood on the deck at Luna Park, which is just like a wharf and there's no fences and people were falling in the harbour left, right and centre.
Fuck off.
And I remember being so drunk, I thought, I'm next. Like, I couldn't
there's
stand.
sharks.
And just think, being drunk at Luna Park, riding the wild mouse and stuff. Like,
that's giving danger.
It was just one of the most wild New Year's Eves I've ever had. And saw the fireworks, had a really camp night. I don't think we got home until like 11 a.m. the next day back to the Central Coast. It was so wild.
No.
And it was one of those spontaneous things that we did. And it was really, really fun. But these days I'm too old for that shit. Sky and I just sit on the lounge. We have a couple friends over and we just don't really do anything. We can see the harbour bridge and stuff from our balcony.
Can you see the fireworks from your balcony?
Yeah, so we can see the whole city and we can kind of see like all of Sydney from our balcony really. So we see all fireworks out at Parramatta and everywhere.
Cool.
So it is really cool and we enjoy just staying home these days. But, you know, the other week, I think it was last week, we were talking about you having a yacht. I really do want to have like one night in my life where I'm on a boat on Sydney Harbour watching the fireworks.
I'm saying this right now. I'm going to make that happen for you.
You're manifesting it.
Yep. In the next 5 years.
Okay.
That's in my 5-year plan that I'm going to have enough disposable income to buy a yacht for a couple $1 million and afford an employee on there or 3 and have it docked in Sydney Harbour. But if it's at Warners Bay at Newcastle, will that be all right?
Well, you're driving the boat down here, love, the day before.
Can you just drive from Newcastle to Sydney in a boat?
I don't know how that works.
Neither.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But let's get into our Royal Flush of the Year.
Yeah. Oh, which, by the way, has been the hardest thing to think of.
It really has, hasn't it?
Like, looking back on the whole year, I'm like, what was the one thing that stood out to me the most? There's been so many things happen this year. It's gone so fast, but also like a billion things have happened.
I'll kick us off because I know what mine is. And I will say, I think that what would be my Royal Flush of the Year, best kind of thing to happen to my life or best thing I've seen on the internet and things like that is probably Taylor Swift. We know I became a Swiftie last year. In 2023. The Eras tour really sold me on Taylor Swift and she's not my Royal Flush, by the way. I'll get to that in a second, but I just want to give a brief mention. Obviously, she was my top artist on Spotify. I really didn't care for Taylor Swift beforehand, and then the Eras tour really sold me. And it's actually I'm almost grateful that I only just became a Swiftie because I've only just been able to discover everything. And I'm sure Swifties who have been Swifties for 10 years have loved the journey. But to discover the discography and be able to, you know, go back and basically start from scratch with Taylor Swift was really like my Roman Empire of 2023. It was all I was thinking about. So I really enjoyed that. So special mention to Tay. But my Royal Flush of the Year is actually the Barbie movie. I think that is probably the best thing that I saw for the year. I think there were so many great aspects that were so good about it. First of all, the movie itself I really enjoyed. I think second of all, my look at the premiere, the Sydney premiere, was really iconic with the grilled burger box. Remember Grilled did the Barbie burgers and you got like a little Barbie box and I used that. Yeah, I still have it. I used it as a handbag at the premiere. And
did they comment on that?
Yeah, they loved it. And then they like worked with me and did more content around the Barbie box. So paid off in the end. It was great. And I love grilled. So it was like a full circle moment because I was like, I'm obsessed. I think as well, the marketing strategy was one of the best marketing strategies I've seen in a very long time. How they were transforming things around the world, like the Barbie dream house in Malibu, the house that they transformed. Here in Sydney, the Bondi Icebergs swimming pool became a Barbie swimming pool. The events that they threw all around the world, the involvement that Margot had all around the world.
They were jet setting everywhere.
Yeah, the outfits that she wore that replicated Barbie's original outfits, like all of that. I just think the execution of the marketing campaign was one of the best I've ever seen.
I know. Who are those people?
Honestly, they've got to be some of the smartest people in the world. I can't remember who I was talking to, but I remember hearing this thing about someone having a piece of content for the Barbie movie, I think it was. And I went to a panel at South by Southwest, which is like a conference for technology and stuff, I think. I don't really know. But I was watching this panel and this lady was saying that they had a video which they were going to post and they held off from posting, but it was like sent in an internal group chat for the marketing team. And someone in a different country actually posted it on their socials and it got like 30 million views overnight. And it was just an off-the-cuff video. And I just think about like the trajectory that anything Barbie related had. Like anything Barbie was going viral at the time. You know what I mean? So posting that, getting 30 million views overnight, I can't even imagine the amount of, that happening in less than 24 hours. So I really enjoyed seeing the marketing campaign. I also loved just the whole process of Barbie, seeing all the behind the scenes.
So clever.
Seeing the fun references. I just think it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And in 2023, we needed fun.
We really did.
And I think Barbie hit the nail on the head with that. I have some fun facts for you just to make this a little bit educational. Barbie in the movie, 23% larger than everything else in Barbie Land to like mimic the awkwardness of the actual Barbie. You have the dream house, but then Barbie's like a giant compared to the dream house.
So wait, Barbie is 23% larger than everything in Barbie Land.
Yeah.
So that set that they built, Margot Robbie, was 23% bigger than everything.
Yes.
So it was a bit disproportionate.
Yes, but that's on purpose because Barbies are disproportionate to the toys that they have. She never really fit in the car and she fit in the dream house, but she was really big in the shower, things like that.
There you go.
The movie used so much pink paint that it literally caused an international shortage. They used so much pink paint in the movie that they were running out worldwide, which is iconic, I think. And this one is probably the most exciting because, I love talking money. The budget for the film was around $145 million. The gross profit from box office was $1.4 billion, which I went, they made 10 times their money, but I'll just calculate that. No, they made 100 times the budget for the movie. So it cost them $145 million. They made 100 times that because you forget how big a billion is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many fucking zeros on that shit. You know what I mean? So that is my royal flush of the year, the Barbie movie. Stellar movie. I think it was 10 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed the rollout of all the marketing.
It was
really
so much more
everything.
than just a movie. Like it took over the fucking world.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
a really good one.
Also, last little fact I have for you, I saw the other day that, Oppenheimer came out at the same time, which was the other really big movie of the year. And they dropped on the same day. So the director or someone from Oppenheimer called Margot Robbie and said, our film's dropping the same day and our film is going to be bigger, so you need to move your date.
Didn't she just recently interview like the main actor from that? I saw a video going around of her interviewing him.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just saw that
Maybe
the other
this
day.
conversation happened there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I think she speaks about it in that interview. It popped up on my TikTok. It's her interviewing the main guy from that movie.
Yeah, well, maybe it was him that called.
Yeah.
And anyway, she turned around and said, absolutely not. If you're scared of dropping it on the same day, you move your date.
Why do they drop on the same day?
I don't know. I think they just wanted...
Is it to create rivalry?
Well, yeah, and I think it worked in Barbie's favour because Oppenheimer did not compare when it came to...
Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Got
there's
nil interest.
Cillian Murphy and Margot Robbie. She interviewed him. And in that interview, she told him she refused to change the date.
Oh, yeah, go Google, girl. We've sorted it out. Good on you, Chae. Thank you.
Oh, I feel like mine doesn't compare to Barbie. If I'm being honest, I've struggled to think of what my royal flush of the year is. Like, there's been so many big things that have happened. The first one's more of a personal royal flush.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered it through the internet, so I feel like it fits with the theme of the royal flush. I discovered my love for the Pink V refresh, and I don't know how many cans I've drank this year. It's actually fucking disgusting.
I know you don't do sponsored posts anymore, but I think you need to hit them up because all you do is drink that. Every week in and out you are drinking. Every time I see you, you're drinking a Pink V refresh.
I know, and I've tried them all. I've tried the green, the yellow, the blue. The pink is the fucking best.
Yeah.
There's something about it. And it's a thing in our workplace. We've actually started collecting the cans and we've made a Christmas tree at work out of them.
Oh, that's camp.
And because we have the tasty truck come to work every day and it's got them in there.
Have you still got some in there? Can I try it? Oh, damn. Yeah, give me some of that. There's a drop left, but I'm gonna taste test it for the first time.
It'll be warm as well.
Oh well.
Have my spit.
2024, the year I catch a disease from BLS. That is nice.
It's really good.
Is it bubbly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's just going a bit flat.
Left. Yeah.
Because it's literally just my saliva. Okay, well, Matt's
yeah,
just tried it.
I've just given you the tick of approval.
How about next time we come in, I'm going to bring you a fresh can.
Yep, gorgeous.
So that was one royal flush for me because I discovered it through the internet, let's be real. And then the other one, I was trying to think, like, what's the best thing? And so I thought, I'll tell you what I reckon my royal flush is, and you're not going to believe this.
Mm-hmm.
I think my biggest thing from this year, kind of my Roman Empire and my royal flush, was Brittney Spears and her conservatorship ending and her splitting up from that guy who everyone has been speculating that he was no good anyway. And so I went to look this up online, right? The conservatorship ended in 2021.
No.
That felt like this year.
That did feel like this year.
And then I'm Googling, I'm like, no, surely it was this year. It was the end of 2021.
That's actually insane.
Like, I swear I saw everyone like marching outside of the courthouse on that day with all the signs like Free Brittney.
Yeah.
I feel like that was 2023, but it turns out it wasn't. But even still, I feel like we saw her kind of take a bit more control over her life in 2023. And I love Brittney Spears. Like, she was my number one pop star celebrity growing up that I idolized. Had her posters all over my wall. I made a collage. Did you ever do that? Like, get the magazines and cut out their bodies and then stick them all in a photo frame and make collages?
Yep.
So even though that ended in 2021, I'm just claiming that it was still relevant in 2023. And she released her memoir in 2023. She divorced from Sam, I don't know his last name because he's really not relevant. And
she gave us the iconic knife video last year.
That was 2023.
Yeah.
There you go. And look, she has been a bit rogue on her social media in 2023, and there's still all that speculation online. And have you gone down that rabbit hole yet? I know you said that you're yet to go down the rabbit hole.
I kind of like want a pin put in it first, then I'll go down the rabbit hole. You know what I mean?
Well, like, even still to this day, we don't know if it's really her on her Instagram account. Is it her doing all these posts, or is it someone else controlling the narrative to make her look a certain way? And there's a lot of conspiracies around, is she still around? Are all of these videos AI generated? There's so much speculation around her sister, who has also just been on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here UK, and I believe she backdoored it.
Yeah,
out of the
she
contest.
left. She did a Carrie Ann
Yeah.
and left early.
What happened there with Carrie Ann and Domenica? Was it something to do with makeup?
Yeah, well,
She didn't want to participate in a food challenge or something.
well, long story short, because obviously I was there, so I was getting the tea while I was over there. I think that Carrie Ann thought she was signing up for something different. I think Carrie Ann thought that she was going to be treated differently. So
Right.
as you saw on the show, one of her demands was she was not going on TV without makeup on. That's just something Carrie Ann didn't do. So she was like, if you want me on the show, I need to have my makeup in the camp. And that's something they would normally never do. But I think the producers were like, we're going to have Carrie Ann on the show, so we're going to give her makeup because we want her on the show.
So did she get to do her own makeup, or she had a makeup artist
Yeah,
there?
no, she just had a little box of like makeup staples, like that she could just do every day to put some mascara on, put some lippy on, some blush and some powder. And I think Domenica, first of all, was like, well, she's getting royal treatment. Like, we weren't allowed to bring any of that in. So she was a bit pissed off about that. And then I think also Carrie Ann just has an air of royalty about her. And I think as well, when you're in that, like, imagine going on a reality show and someone else, you're in, for starters, it's I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, one of the worst reality shows to go on in terms of how you get treated. Like, it's up there with SAS in terms of like how full on it is. And imagine going there with nothing and then seeing someone else got a better treatment or a better deal or cut a better deal in their contract, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's unfair.
Yeah. And then Carrie Ann also didn't want to do the trial and eat the gross animal balls,
Which
and
is
stuff
like the
that.
whole fucking show.
Right. And I don't, and look, I don't know whether Carrie Ann ever watched the show. I don't think Carrie Ann is watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I just don't think she cares
And she
for
was
it.
refusing to eat that gross stuff, which was
yeah.
then going to let the team down because it was
Yeah.
like a team challenge or whatever.
Yeah, so then they win food. And so Dom's whole thing was, you've come all the way to South Africa, you can't even be bothered participating in the thing, and you're also going to affect other people in the camp because we won't get as much food. Like, what are you even doing here?
Right.
Especially when Dom was like trying her hardest.
Yeah.
So they,
Had a big fight.
Had this big fight. And then Carrie Ann actually left the show.
Right.
And did a walkout, which I feel like I'd actually come home by then. I think I flew home the day that was kind of airing or happening, and I was catching up as I landed in Sydney. And that was the big drama. That was what kicked it off. And you know what? I'm like Team Dom with that. Like, I'm like, I think Dom had every right. Like, Carrie Ann was a bad sport. And I will say I got to meet Carrie Ann and see her before she went in the jungle, because I was obviously doing some promo and stuff like that. I was doing my own little Barbie promo, but for I'm a Celeb. So I got to meet Carrie Ann. She was absolutely lovely. I'm sure she's lovely, but I was like, you're a bad sport in that situation.
You can't go on a show like that and be a bad sport.
Imagine going to South Africa for like 3 days or something, flying home. Like, what a waste of time. I really wish she gave it a go, because I reckon it could have been some of the best TV we've ever had, but
absolutely.
Oh, well.
Britney Spears' sister, Jamie Lynn, has done the same and has walked out of I'm a Celeb UK edition.
Mm-hmm.
And there were videos going around. I don't know if you saw any of them, but it was her like interview before going on to the show saying like, I'm Jamie Lynn Spears with a southern accent. And it was her saying, I'm best known for being an actress and a singer. And then the whole internet has jumped on with like the snake emojis saying you are known because you are Britney Spears' little sister.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you did Zoe 101 and all that, which by the way, now there's Zoe whatever.
102.
Yeah, it's coming out and it's like the reunion, which is so weird because it's so late.
Yeah.
Like there's such a big time gap there.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's been so many conspiracies surrounding Britney Spears and whether her, like, it's all got to do with her sister. They're saying it's even her sister in some of the dancing videos, and it's all this conspiracy. But I would say, even though we're still not 100% sure if it's the real Britney Spears on her socials and posting, we've seen her go out and about in public. She's been seen hanging out with other people and partying, and I'm like, fucking slay, Brit. So love that for her, even though the conservatorship ended in 2021.
Yeah.
It felt like this year, so I'm saying that it was this year.
So your royal flush is just
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
Yep.
Okay. You know what? You've never really stuck to the rules of royal flush anyways.
No.
It
look,
makes sense that you've just made up your own rule for this one as well.
one of us has to break the rules
Yeah.
of the podcast.
Yeah.
Nova can take it up with me if they've got a problem.
Shout out to Tate. Shout out to Tate. Shout out. Okay. It's day 2 of 2024 and
You can't
I
talk.
already am struggling. It's great.
What were you going to say? Shout out to who?
Tay. Because
Oh,
she was my pink V of my royal flush. She got a special mention, but it wasn't actually my royal flush.
We're really two different people, aren't we?
Yeah, and that's why you love us, scrollers. Thank you so much for listening to this little bonus episode. We'll be back very soon with regular scheduled programming. We've got a couple more bonus episodes for you before we get back into the swing of things. I hope you've enjoyed this. Rate us 5 stars. Leave us a review. If you had, tell us how your Christmas was in an email, love, scrollers@novapodcast.com.au.
You know what you need to do. Follow us everywhere. Do all the things. And thanks for listening to our very first episode of the year.
Anyway, doll, I better let you go. I'm about to piss. Where's the portaloo?